This is the city of Aalborg, which is in Jutland in Denmark. And one of the reasons I haven't been posting many videos lately is because I've been traveling. So this what we're seeing here is actually what's called Fjord, I believe. So it's the fjord that's located adjacent to Aalborg, and it's a fjord that actually goes through and it connects the North Sea. So the North Sea is to the east of Denmark all the way through to the Baltic Sea. You can see there's actually a railroad bridge over the Fjord with a train going over it. That bridge is actually a drawbridge, and this Fjord is actually, at least at one point, was a pretty extensive harbor. So there's some apartment buildings, there's actually some factories. That there is a road bridge across Fjord. There's actually only two bridges connecting Aalborg across Fjord, and one of them is a railroad bridge, and the other is that road bridge over there. So you can imagine the traffic on the road bridge is pretty significant. But you can see that's also a drawbridge, so that yellow tower there is the tower that operates the drawbridge, and that central span there is actually the part they lift up for their drawbridge. And behind that's actually a factory. I believe that's a concrete plant. I'm not completely certain. And you can just see the shoreline. There's a bunch of apartment buildings or condos. And the railroad bridge again. Actually, looking at that there, that looks like it actually at one point could have been a gantry. So I imagine that this shoreline I'm on now could have been, or would have been, a pretty extensive pier. And maybe that was somehow associated with it. You can see there's another pier works. There's actually a ship there. So what used to be a sailing vessel is actually now been converted and is being used as a restaurant. Another view from the shoreline, and I actually came across this here, which looks like it was at one point a dock or possibly even a dry dock. Looks like it actually, that structure there could have at one point been a gate, and the water behind it could have been part of a dry dock that they would pump out to work on ships. And here's a view of the shoreline again with the road bridge and the factory. And here's another view of the dry dock. So this is from the bridge in the center, and this actually shows how far back it actually goes. So you can see behind us, there's the bridge, and there's the fjord over there. So this bridge actually divides the dry dock into two sections. Here's a close-up view of the boats of that sailboat that got turned into a restaurant. It's called the Princess Juliana, and it, I guess, was built in Amsterdam, or is headquartered in Amsterdam, as well as in Aalborg. This is a view of the fjord from the road bridge. So I'm on the drawbridge section of that road bridge with that yellow tower behind me. And in the foreground, there's the railroad bridge. And that there is where I was before, so that pier. And you notice in the background, there's that stack sticking up. That actually used to be a factory, so that's an abandoned factory, and I might take a look at that at some point. And here's the shoreline. There's that old sailing ship which got converted into a restaurant. And there are the condos. And you can see the bridge. There's actually quite a bit of traffic on it. There's the tower where they operate the drawbridge from. I'm still on the bridge, and this is actually an interesting view on the other side of the fjord. So there's some sailing vessels. I believe that might be a hotel, and there's the row of condos. And here's the bridge again. This is a view from the other side of the bridge, so looking west, and you see that's that factory over there. And just to look at the shoreline, there's some condos over there, some construction. You see that brown building over there in the center? That's actually a student center for Aalborg University. So one of Denmark's main universities is located in Aalborg, so the University of Aalborg. And just looking down the coastline. So if you notice that steeple over there to the right, that's actually a cathedral. So an old cathedral that was built in the Middle Ages. And that's part of Aalborg's historic district. So they have a historic district in Aalborg that I might actually take a look at as well. And there's actually a couple of old churches. So there's another old church right there. And there's the bridge. This is another view from the west end of the bridge, and there's that factory. And you notice the pier right out front of there. They would actually occasionally have really large cargo ships docked right in front of the factory to load and offload cargo used by the factory. I believe that factory is involved in either cement or some other ore processing. And just another look down the coastline. So there is the Aalborg University Student Center. You can see that I'm actually on the drawbridge part of this bridge, and you can feel the bridge, probably see the camera shaking as cars and buses go over the bridge. But there's the coastline. So there to the left is the cathedral steeple. And if you notice that white building over there, that's actually used to be a castle that was built in, I believe it was the 16 or 1700s, so that's another thing I might take a look at. And it was actually a proper castle, so it would have been used as a fortification to guard this harbor or guard the city.